All right, welcome everybody. Jose J. Garcia with Garcia Mohome University. Coaching series every Sunday, 8 p.m. Put it on your calendars. We should have all your emails. If we do not, just send them to us so that we can add you to that. Not just for the Sunday, but also Tuesday calls, and still debating on an additional one throughout the week. Planning a couple things with my coaches on that. But any way that we can bring you the best of value, of course, all the information possible. But let's get started. So tonight's call is building relationships. Mobile home investing, building relationships, which is huge. I'm watching Facebook beside and I'm live and I'm a little slow, so I keep seeing a shadow. But okay, I won't pay attention. Let me remove as a matter of fact. There we go. Okay. Well, I'll keep it for Instagram because it was actually, there you go. All right. Yeah. But all right, when you think relationships, you probably hear me say this all too often if you watch my YouTube channels, is everyone and everything is a relationship, regardless. And it does not matter what product or service you are investing in, sell, buy, whatever. Any and everybody that you come in contact with is a relationship. People want to do business with people they like, people they know. Everything is always harder when you get started, much like an investment. The first time is always the most troubling, that sort of thing. But as you keep doing it and you start building those relationships, you notice that it gets easier, and it should. Practice makes better, the way I see it. So when it comes to this here is be prepared to build relationships. When it comes to mobile home investing, there's many people that we have to see, whether we want to or not. Some of those are park managers, park owners, even direct sellers. That's a relationship. If they don't sell today, they may sell tomorrow. They give you a no now and you simply run away, well, then you're definitely not going to get the deal. So you have to build a rapport, build a relationship. Tax assessors and DMV, those are huge. You will have to go to the DMV or tax assessor's office sooner or later if you're doing investing. So you might as well build that relationship. Okay. Now that one there can be they can all be challenging, but I think when it comes to DMV and tax accessors, if they don't understand what you're trying to do, especially if you're a wholesaler, you can really start confusing people. And I'm going to start breaking those down first. But when it comes to tax accessor and DMV offices, most times than not, the first rep that you see when you come in, you would expect everybody there to know what they're doing, kind of thing. And again, I'm not talking bad about them in a sense, but a lot of these people, when it comes to mobile homes, it is very alien still. It is, oh, this is a title, so they think it's a car or a boat or a motorcycle, or okay, what are we doing, kind of thing. So just even transferring the title can be an issue. So be prepared to coach them, is what I'm saying. But when you come in there and you have a buyer and you have a seller and you're the middleman, that's just going to be a lot of headaches for a lot of people. Most times they'll even tell you that's illegal. You can't be doing that. They don't know. That's all that it means. Remember this. Don't take no from somebody who can't give you a yes. I had to learn that long ago on that. And that's, if you need to ask for another rep, then ask for another rep. Ask for somebody else. Maybe you ask who's the manager, who's the manager or supervisor on the floor, because they may get to that. But overall is building that relationship. Once you do one transaction, one deal, these people know you, it just gets a little easier. Now they kind of expect you. There's many DMV and tax accessors office. I walk in and they know me by name. I'm okay with that because they know what I'm coming in for. Either I'm changing titles, switching them to another name, or I'm wholesaling a transaction. Still letting people in. So if I pause for a second, here's what I'm doing. I want to make sure everybody gets in. Apparently I didn't let a few people in last time, so I'm keeping my participants page up this time. Make things easy for everybody you work with when you're building a relationship. Keep in mind, if it's a park manager, park owner, even tax assessor or DMV, most people call them for what? I have a problem. I have an issue. Or they're calling them for them to solve something. And that's fine. That's technically, in a way, what they're supposed to be there for. But if you can change that around and suddenly you're calling not to simply say hello, but to actually try to solve a problem, a solution for them, that's going to go a long way. Okay, and have that ready. And like I said, I'm going to be presenting a page on here in a second. As I was thinking here, putting this coaching together, I thought I'm going to show one more page on here I want to share with all of y'all, just to make it easier for you if you do find yourself to have to go to a tax accessor's office. And I'm sure some of you, if you've already visited one or two, you know what I'm talking about. It can be very challenging. I know I had a student who basically walked out and she had to go back in after a while. So most tax accessors, I need to find a short name for that. TX, let's say TX and DMVs. Okay, they, again, it's very alien to them in a sense because they don't deal with it as much. As much as mobile home investing is growing, it does not mean that everybody there knows what they're doing, how to even find the information. And that's what shocks me the most. I have been known to go to some new DMV or tax assessor's office and spend a lot of time coaching them. And it's almost like they dodge you at first. I go to the first one, oh, go see her over there in the corner. And then go see her and guys, look, I'm just transferring the title. Or I have a buyer here and I have a seller. Here's how it works. If you don't mind, I'll say that respectfully, of course. Okay, the transfer title, it is nothing more than no different than a car, a boat, or a motorcycle. I just want to transfer the name, that's all. Including with it, I even brought you a bill of sale. This makes it easy for you to see that the transaction was done accordingly. Again, you're coming in more so solving a problem if you can. Okay. Now, if you have back pocket access coaching with me and you find yourself in this situation, stop and just give me a call. And I've had students do that. Okay, let me just call my coach, and they call me, and I spent a while with them on the phone as a conference. By the end of it, my student had got coached. They got what they wanted when they came in there. Obviously got that done, and the individual now understands how to do certain things differently. I remember one DMV I walked into. It was down in Macon, Georgia, Central Georgia. Typical. I walked in and I could already sense that they were not having the best of the day anyway. So I thought, oh, great. Hopefully somebody just knows what I need. Get in and get out. That was not the case. They started bucking pretty hard. You can't do this here. You can't do that. And I had to just explain. Started with one rep, two reps. By the end of it, I had five of them sitting there just listening because I was coaching them. And in a good way, right? Letting them know this is how this is figured out. Of course, I had to let them know who I was. But bottom line is that I spent quite a while there. I wasn't paid for that time, by the way, thinking back now. But they knew. They got my situation squared away, and I was able to walk out of there with titles transferred. That's all I needed anyway. But part of that is due diligence anyway. You know, if you've taken some of my coaching, you know that a lot of this before you even walk into a DMV, you should have a lot of information in your hand. And I don't mean information that the seller gave you, even a park manager or park owner. But as part of your due diligence, you look up all this information on public records. Some of you forget that most of the stuff is on public records. I just made a video shortly before I come on here, and I was talking about the difference between personal property and real estate. And that's one thing that I kept going back and forth with. So one has a title, one has a deed, but you can retire, etc. So we'll talk on that as well. But okay, let me share my screen with you. When you're thinking about due diligence, there's a lot of things that go hand in hand along with the lot rent, talking to park managers, park owners, of course, making sure that everybody's up to date. Everything is paid accordingly. Along with that, you want to be also checking on the tax assessors. You know, if a mobile home that you're trying to buy, especially if it's from a direct seller, the taxes have not been paid, and you buy that mobile home, guess who is responsible now for those taxes? You are. If it has a lien on it, you are. Okay, so these are things that you have to check anyway. So when I walk into tax assessor's office, many times I bring this printout, what I'm about to show you now, with you anyway, and you're able to show them. Now, what's kind of humorous in a way is that this is technically their system. So when you go in there and they can't find a home, they can't locate it, especially if it's inside of a mobile home park, which is mostly what we invest in. It's it's a little hard to explain. Simply go here, go there. Okay, this is how you can eliminate it. Now I'm going to show you a city that I invest in. I have invested. I always feel like I show you something I should not be showing you when I'm displaying this. I don't know why. And I may be going a little quick on here. Okay, there's videos on these that you can go to my YouTube and you can find yourself, and I'll walk you step by step. But right now, all I did was go to qpublic.net. I found the state, found the county that I went into, and then I go into and type the address to the location. Again, this is a park where I used to invest quite a bit. Now, when you're talking about a park, this is what they're having to look for. So you imagine if you walk into this tax assessor's office, DMV, and hey, find me the slot number here. Then they have to go click on they're not going to do it. They're flat out going to tell you, okay, this is going to take us a while. We can call you later. They're giving you the runaround. That's what's happening. They're not going to call you. So what if you can come into the same office and already have this information for them, or show them how to do it? I've saved people a lot of time. Now look at this. If I go down in this specific mobile home park, okay, and I look at all these lot numbers, wow, quite a bit, right? Let me just click on one of them. There it is. And I'm going to show you what you need to show them. There's the mobile home information, who owns it, where it's located, even value, which means nothing when it comes to the mobile home because they're not assessed accordingly, other than what some famous Kelly Blue Book once said, right? Okay, that's not the lot number. Let me go to the next one. Lot number 207. Okay, that's not it. That's not it either. Okay, I'm looking for 43. I'm just throwing a number. Let me go to the next one. This is lot 203. That's not it either. Do you see how much time consuming this is in aggravation? A lot of people forget that many home parks have parcel IDs MO2s, which means that every lot can actually be displayed in all these homes and then some. These are mostly owned by the park anyway, so you're not even being listed all of them. But if you click on this, now most times it's up here. Every now and then it'll be in the middle or in the end. Look for this MO2. It is considered CO2 in some counties. It just depends. Click on that, and this is going to give you a breakdown a little bit differently. Look at that. Now, along with every mobile home that is there, which is a lot more than you saw, that's what we have. Lot numbers. I can't highlight. I cannot highlight. Okay, lot numbers. You can see that. That means that with every account number, every owner, manufacturer, model, width, etc., I have every lot number. Now, we were looking for what? I said 143 or something. It doesn't matter. But okay, I can find a specific one. Let's just say, okay, I'm looking for lot 107. I can click on this, 107. Now let me confirm, of course. Yes, it is lot number 107. Good, I'm in business, right? The information that you're going to be able to give them so they can find it easier, because the address, which this is the owner address, you don't want to give them that. The address of the park is 1450 South, and this in this instance is considered 107. Give them the parcel number. This is their number. So if they can't find it with that, I mean, you're really at this point maybe want to ask for somebody else, another rep to come over and try to kind of help you in a sense. All right, I think Facebook's blowing up. Parcel number, address would have helped. Sometimes giving them the owner, but see, you can print this form right here. Every one of these lots you can go to, and you can just open any of them. You can open any. Let's say this individual. Again, I feel like I show you something I shouldn't, but okay, this individual is selling me this mobile home, lot number so and so. So if I can go in here and along with the bill of sale, along with the title, I can bring this sheet, because again, you can print it. I can show them, here's what the mobile home looks like. Here's the parcel, so that they can actually pull it up in their system. And here's all the other info. Along with that, I have the manufacturer, I have the model, I have the year built, I have the width. I mean, you got everything here to build the title, including the VIN number, serial number, ID number, VIN number, all the same thing. They all equal the same thing. If it was a double wide, which is not, it would have an additional, it would have a letter in this case. Double wides have two titles, so that's one thing to remember. But on something like this, if it was a double wide, it would have A and B or AB, which means A side, B side, both the same thing. Okay, a couple comments there on the comment section y'all can see on. But yes, if you can print this out and take this to them, basically even handle it. I will circle this here. Well, here's the parcel number for you. You've already done so much work for them that you can save them. And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and show them, hey, instead of looking through all these lot numbers, anytime an investor comes in here and you look through 50 or 60 individual links, click on the MO2 and it'll give you all the breakdown, right? Lot numbers. And that's what we want. And I'm still behind on Instagram. I mean, on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Okay. All right. We'll go back to that one here in a second. So now let's talk about that's tax assessors and DMVs, right? Now we have park managers and park owners. Again, building a relationship. I forgot who I was talking to over the weekend. It was another investor, and the same thing came up about, well, most park managers tell me no, they don't want my business anyway. So I was asking, well, what did you do? What'd you say? Oh, I just basically blah. I left. I'm gonna go work with somebody else. There's nothing wrong with that, because there are some park owners. Well, not entirely. There are some park owners, park managers who, no matter what, they're not going to work with you. They have a system set in place, and for whatever reason, they have set in mind that they're not going to work with investors, and it's fine if that is the case. Don't waste your time on a park that's repeatedly going to tell you no, when there's many parks that could use your services right now. As a matter of fact, many parks that I call many times are wondering, where have I been? Okay, those are the parks I want to work with. But now, if it is a simple no, we're not working with you for whatever reason, I would make it a follow-up. Follow-up is key on that. And I always want to find out, why is it that they don't want to work with me? Well, we own all of our mobile homes. We do our own maintenance. Okay, what is happening here? Then that's one thing, right? You know, at that point, okay, it's more like a mom and pop kind of mobile home park, which probably means a little small anyway. That's fine. And there is services that you still can provide. You know, if they were going to get a new mobile home to bring into the park or empty pads or whatever, then at that point you could still, you know, give them service from that sense. But investing inside the park itself, it's not going to happen. Let it be. But if it's just a park manager just being hard to work with, they probably most likely have already been burnt. Um, by other investors, those are the ones that are going to give you the strongest no. But I always say this: follow up is key. You know, if it takes you a month, 2 months, it has taken me up to 6 months to get inside of a mobile home park to work. Now, those are some of the most peaceful parks to work in. Why? They were burnt by previous mobile home investors, which means that when a new mobile home investor comes into the picture, you're just another one of those. That's how they see you. You're just another investor. So you have to be able to come in and prove that. And part of that is following up every 2 weeks. Hey, I know you don't work with investors, but you know, I can really help you out. A lot of those distressed mobile homes I saw, I can bring them back up. Make it about them. Make it about them each and every step of the way. A lot of investors come in with this whole mentality of even the way they speak. Well, I'm going to come in and buy these mobile homes. I'm going to go ahead and read them and sell them. That sounds terrible. And you know, why should they work with you and not the previous guy or the one after? Right? You just sound like everybody else, and that's what you don't want to do. You want to stand out. So turn that I into a we. Change it around. Make it a we kind of thing, a win-win situation. Why do they need you? Why do they want you? Why you? Why now? Okay. We will get these mobile homes up and making you lot rent on time. There you go. That's the key. We will fill these empty pads for you and maximize your profits. You know, Mr. or Mrs. Park Manager, if you maximize these pads, I guarantee you the owners are going to be happy with you. I've seen other parks where we maximize these, and even park managers tell us how much of a bonus they got. So I mean, you know, this is a real win-win situation, but you have to keep talking this way. Okay, make it a win-win situation. Why is it a winning for them and you, and not just you getting an investment, trying to come in and wholesale flip or whatever? That's not going to work. You know, if it's a one-time deal and never to be seen again, fine. Do it that way, I suppose. But if you're going to try to continue to build a report here and keep investing, it's going to it's only going to be visible through a relationship. A lot of these park managers that at first gave me the strongest no are the ones that call me now. Not even just when it's a mobile home. I don't know what Facebook is doing. If y'all are watching Facebook, yeah, it looks terrible over there. But they gave me a no. You know, we've been burnt by, and it flat out told me after a while. They kept calling. Well, you know, we've dealt with mobile home investors like you. They came in and said they were going to do this, they were going to do that. They never did. We gave them even free lot rent for a month, 2 months, and they just left us in worse condition than it was. And we've seen it because many of these investments that we take, sometimes they tell us, you know, this was actually another investors, and you can tell where they kind of, I guess, try to rehab the mobile home, but it just wasn't, you know, it wasn't something they could do apparently. So they okay, there we go. Thank you. Take the screen share. Maybe that's what was happening over there. All right. When they do allow you to go into these parks, it's, think about it. If they've been burnt by other mobile home investors and they finally allow you to come in and invest, you are going to be their only investor. Why? Because you come in, you prove yourself, you do what you say you're going to do, you go above and beyond, and there's no need for them to have another investor. A lot of these parks, this is where I bring my student and investors, and only that way can they get into the park. So follow up is key on that, but make it a relationship as well. Make it a win-win situation, and always why they should invest with you. Okay. Let's see if any questions on here at this time. Instagram, I will look through your questions here in a minute. All right, let's see. If you are buying from someone who has a home on their land and they have the title to do you still have to go to the DMV to transfer the title, or can you just sign your name on the title and it is done? Um, you know, you don't have to go to the tax assessor or DMV period, but you better be doing your due diligence real good. And I'm talking from every aspect. Make sure that there's no liens, there is nothing crazy going on with that title. Obviously, you want proof of that title because many times it could be in a bank, in a mortgage. I don't know. It could be attached to something. So that is fine. I mean, and this is the same for a park, for a mobile home that is in a park. If they're selling it, can you actually conduct the whole transaction in their home? Yes, I would say again, have all your information in front of you, make sure everything checks out. And I would say have a third person, somebody that can almost just oversee the deal. And if you have the proper bill of sale, it'll list on the back, third person, almost like a witness, to sign on it to make sure everything is up to par. But I would never sign a full title or hand exchange money until I make sure that the lot rents are paid. If it's in a park, if it's here, obviously I want to make sure that it's paid. Even though the mobile home, it's on this piece of land, if it's not retired, obviously, because it has a title, it pays taxes just the same, whether it's in a park or it's a piece of land. So every year it has to get that decal, that tag, and it has to be paid. So I want to check with that. And again, that is a simple call to the tax assessor or DMV office. Call them, tell them, hey, I'm looking to buy this home. It's located here, before I close on it, because a lot of times they're not going to want to give you information unless you're the owner. But again, this is information that you can find online. And I do have a video on how to look up property taxes and or personal taxes also. So go check out our YouTube. But yes, you can conduct that as long as everything is up to par. Any other questions, comments? Went kind of quick on this call, which I figured I would. Trying to bring a few more people on here to talk. A couple of the people that I had thought about bringing, they are more than happy to come on, but apparently they're both on vacation. So, so until they get back, I think I'm going to have one next Sunday. And if so, y'all are going to be pleased. He's a great guy. He's an investor. He's from up north, USA, and he is killing it in the mobile home game. He has his own education field platform as well. So, yeah, I will like him. I'll leave it a little surprise until closer to time. But yeah, different topics that I want to talk. And again, I keep coming up with more and more topics, additional topics that I want to talk about is one, breaking down an RTO. How do you really structure a rent to own? That's huge because your legality at that point. So that one is coming. Park versus land, a lot of them. I want you to tell me, what do you want me to talk about? Send me an email, drop a comment. What do you want me to talk about? What is one topic that you're having trouble issues with, or that you simply want to learn more about? How to package land. Somebody asked that the other day, and I guess we could do a call on that as well. How to create personal into real property. And there's nothing more than taking the title and retiring it in a sense, but there's a lot of steps that go hand in hand, of course. So, but okay, any questions on this call? Relationships, how to build them? Let's talk about security. I know you're sending that privately, but what do you mean security?
Jay, it's Montrese. I have a question. So I have the home in Columbus, and I have issues. They kicked my door in, and they messed with my panel, my electrical panel. So I was trying to see like what security measures, should I take? Should like get a long system set up, or should I something? Because kick my door in. Like I said, kick my door in. They mess with my electrical panel. And I have another home. They keep breaking my windows.
Where both in Columbus?
No, one's Columbus, the other's in Dublin.
Wow. Okay. Have you done a police report on both of them?
Not yet. I checked. I went down there today and I checked, and I noticed today keep my door in and mess with my security panel. The other one keep breaking my windows.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, one, I told you to stay away from Columbus. But so yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, you don't need to be waiting any longer. You need to file a police report right away, immediately get that in the system. And then I would get with department management and just kind of, again, build a relationship and let them know, hey, I'm having issues. I'm not from here. And, this is a travel for me. If you can kind of oversee my properties a little bit more, that helped me out. And then along with that, you can call the city and ask for extra security. There's no cost to that. We've done that a lot of times in a lot of parks that we've had, not issues, but just it didn't look as safe as two. So what we did is we doubled the security there by having calling down to the police department and just say, this is the address. If we can get additional police officers kind of patrol, and they do, they just take extra times just as they're driving by, they'll go in the park, and people see that. When people see more and more police officers come in and out, they're a little less likely to go try to do some of this malicious stuff that's happening, because that's what it sounds like. But I would definitely start with that police report. That needs to be done now. Do that first thing in the morning.
Gotcha. All right, thanks.
Okay. Cameras, you can if you need to. I would also, I'm not going to ask you, but if you have not put insurance on the property, I would say do so. This is one thing that the insurance that we've given you. I know I've given you that number. they will cover things like that as well. So, something to keep in mind.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone else? Questions? Starting to think I'm a great coach. No questions. I've answered them all from the get-go. All right, let's see. A couple of announcements. Have y'all seen GMHU? I kept bragging about it for the longest time, trying to talk about, okay, Garcia Mobile Home University is going to be updated. My website is going to look up to par. Now, there's still little things I'm going to change in there. They're still working on it. But as of now, I think as of 2-3 days ago, it went live. And that's why you see the difference. And now it's gold and white versus red, blue, whatever it was. We don't forget about it. But if you go check out our website, it's definitely breaking things down a lot more simplified. A lot of people were more confused than anything when they went to. So go check it out, GarciaMHE.com. The coaching options are there. We're going to change a couple in it in a sense of what we're going to be offering, because there are some new coaches that are coming. We're thinking about doing a conference in a sense, almost like the shadow, like we do live, third Saturday, or we may hold it on here as well, kind of thing. So we're just playing with a couple little things here. Suggestions. Give me suggestions, ideas, what you think. But definitely check that out. I've never had to cancel a shadow event until this past weekend. We had some issues with some properties, had to be tended to. So the people that have signed up, some postponed for next month. It will be the third Saturday. I think it's 17. I'm not going to give you the date. I'm not looking at a calendar, but for moving forward, that made me even set a better calendar in sense. Instead of trying to guess which week of the month we're going to do it, third Saturday, every third Saturday of every month, that's when the shadow is going to be, unless otherwise. Okay. It'll always be at different locations. We are about to take a lot of homes in Alabama as well. So some shadows may be over there. Florida, we're starting to pick up again in Tallahassee, Florida, which we've had quite a bit. I have a few RTOs there. We might do a few there as well. Tallahassee, that's a beautiful place I yet to go to. I just hear great things about it. So just keep in mind on that. Then the Tuesday calls, we're going to change that up a little bit starting this Tuesday. I'm not going to talk a lot into that. I'll wait till Tuesday, but Tuesday is Let's Do Deals. We got a lot of deals that are coming, and I'm going to change some things. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you this, because I know a lot of you had some issues, and I meant to notate that, by the way. Get in the email. If you're not getting our emails, I know we changed it to even a different email at one point, gmhu.info@gmail. That was good. It was temporarily until the website went live and it attached to my email, which is j@garciamhu.com. But if you're not getting reminders, today you should have got one. Tomorrow you'll get a recap of this. Then Tuesday, I think you get another one for the Let's Do Deal. So the biggest thing there is that a lot of times there's announcements there that we don't just toss out information. If you're part of our database, as we call you, you're going to get this information before anybody else does. On Wednesday morning, you get a recap of the Let's Do Deals along with the Let's Do Deals Facebook page. The link was an issue. It was growing. And I know that the spreadsheet was very simple, basic, and cheap, really, but it didn't start it that way. When we got it, it was basically, let's try out some deals for investors kind of thing. And it just kind of grew out of proportion, which is good. But that being said, it was so big that it was almost impossible to attach an email or just send it off to people individually. So that's changed into a Google Drive at this point. It is attached on there. If you don't get the email, send us your email so we can add you. And it will be posted every Wednesday morning, the actual Google link. Now, I update it throughout the week. I remove stuff that sells. I add new stuff from time to time on there. Most times I wait till Monday to add all the deals that are coming on. But every now and then. Now, one thing I've already done, and I suggest that all of you that are interested in the deal go jump on, is reduction. I have a lot of inventory. Bottom line, we're about to take so much more inventory and my time is limited. I cannot keep tending to these Central Georgia deals. We're either going to put them on the market as in Craigslist, Let Go Classified, and they will go very quickly, or investors take them on, students take them on. Now, I've reduced them enough that at this point where you could almost get a deal, do your back pocket access. I could walk you step by step and you're still saving money. Go check it out. If you don't have that link, send me an email, but all the prices have dropped drastically. Go check it out on that. Other announcements. I think that's all I have, other than every second Saturday at this time I have committed. Some of you know that I took over a group, a meetup group. It's a networking group that's it's free for any and everybody. Currently, it's been held in Beaufort, Georgia. It's every Saturday, second Saturday from 12 to 1:30, 12 to 2 o'clock, give or take. I've asked some people, do y'all want to do it through Zoom? Nobody's really responded to that. I guess y'all like it in person, but I did suggest, why don't we move it around? Not everybody lives near Beaufort, right? So, give me suggestions on that. But that is a free event that any and everybody can join as well. Share these events, by the way. And we have Meetup. So if you have Meetup, you're able to see all those events also. And I think that's all I got. Any questions from anyone? I can keep talking. So, all right. Definitely check out the chat box. There's a lot of information on there that you can grab, our email or website, which is not hard to find. I mean, I have, like I said, I'll start putting it on my background as well. Between live and Zoom would be good. Okay. So privately message sent, but I'll turn it in between live and Zoom. I'm not against Zoom at all. Zoom works great. I love it. I was talking to many investors and they're talking about how much they love that they can travel again, but they forgot how much expenses came with it. I guess they do. I love people interaction anyway, but it is true. The commute to a Zoom is very quick for us. Now we're having to drive and we're introduced to traffic again. I'm okay with that. Zoom, y'all just keep sending me those and let's think about it as we get closer to the second Saturday of next month. We will definitely see where we're at and we'll see what we can do for y'all. All right. It is past 8:30, so that's our 30-minute mark. Thank you all for joining us on here. I hope to see you all Tuesday. Let's do deals at 7 p.m. All right, y'all have a good night. Till next time.